Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of my merchanting series. So this is episode 4 with my progress, and you can see at the start of this episode I had 10 mil cash and my in-game time was saying 6 hours. And the previous achievements in earlier episodes I've hit 10 mil cash, 1 mil cash and 100k cash. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and time to begin. So you can see from this screenshot that the items that I was planning on doing for this episode was barrow sets, and I chose these because the Crucible update was added into the game and I figured people would want barrow sets to go PKing in, as they're a relatively good armour set and they're quite cheap as well. However, they weren't making a massive amount of profit in comparison to the treasure trail items, and had I not been making a video series which I wanted to try and keep moderately interesting, then I would have just stayed on with treasure trails, but I wanted a bit of variety, so I stayed trying to keep it different, and I did things like the barrow sets. You can see I was making about 100k per, which isn't anything really special, but it was a decent profit and pretty average for an item like a barrow set. And if you're wondering what I blurred out, I'm about to explain it now. So if you remember in episode 1, I managed to buy some addy darts for 1 GP each when I had about 30 GP cash or something, and someone now decided to sell spirit shards for 1 GP each, and you can see there I managed to buy 10k of them for 10k obviously, and I sold them for a 230k profit, which just reminded me of at the very start, and it was a nice quick profit. And there you can just see a screenshot of the Robin Hood hats, which I did just every so often, and it got me about 250k profit for the limit of 2. So you're about to see the reason why this is no longer a barrows video, and it's because things like armadyl and barrows, basically the amount of profit I made with those just put the barrows to shame really. And it was a bit of a one-off event because Jagex, for whatever reason, decided to put the buy limit of armadyl and barrows down to 1. So, whatever reason they decided to do that for, I presume it was so people couldn't hoard it with the Evolution of Combat update, but they didn't really think about it dropping and then people being unable to make it recover. So basically I bought the armadyl helmet for 5.4 mil, which you were seeing. I sold it for 5.9 mil. A decent 10% profit on an armadyl helmet, which is pretty much unheard of. And then the armadyl chestplate, about a 1.4 mil profit on that, which again is a massive profit for an item like that. And it just continued. Armadyl chain skirt, I bought it for 7.1 mil, and I managed to sell it for 8.1 mil, a 1 mil profit in literally a few minutes. And you could just continue this with armadyl and barrows. They only had a limit of 1 per 4 hours, but it really wasn't that hard. You were making like 5 mil profit at least. Just wait 4 hours, do it again. And you can just see the profits that I'm making on screen. It's just crazy. This barrows chestplate in particular, I bought it for 13.25 mil, like you can see. I sold it for 16.2 mil, a 3 mil profit on a barrows chestplate. It was some of the fastest profits I've ever made really. And this one in particular, bought a spirit shield for 1337 GP, which is a pretty chill price, and I managed to sell it for only 44k. But all you needed was 1.3k there, and you could have had 30 times your money or something ridiculous. And they also applied it to the spirit shields. I managed to buy myself a spectral for 18.1 mil. However, I didn't make as much profit as I'd have liked, and I only was able to sell it for 18.8 mil. But it was still a nice 700 or 800k profit, and I can't really complain with that. And now I'm just going to quickly explain a bit more of why it worked and why I was able to do this, whilst I have some screenshots just showing the profits in the background. And if you want to just watch those or listen to me, you can. I've just really thrown the screenshots in so you can actually see that I have made this money, because had I not thrown these in, you would probably have, it would be natural to assume that I had just traded a bit of money over. But I have done all these trades, and the amount of profit I was making was really unreal. Now if you watch my flared trousers merchanting video, where I showed how to merchant treasure trails, when I talked about flared trousers, I said the reason why they worked is because they have a small buy limit. Now because they have a small buy limit, it's harder to contain their price around a certain stable price, if this makes sense. Obviously, if you can afford to buy 1 billion flared trousers, the price can never really go below your offer. But if you can only buy one, as soon as one buys, the price is going to go below your offer. And it's going to be a lot more volatile and trade around at a lot of different prices. So when you've got an item like armadyl or barrows, which is trading quite often, and you can only buy one of them, that really does limit the amount of control and a constraint you can have on that price. So for that reason, it bobbles around an awful lot, and that is why you're able to buy them so cheaply. For example, that barrows chest plate there, buying it so much below med, and you can see most of the items I'm selling just a few hundred k below med. And it's because of that limit of one that it made them work so well. And again, it was kind of thanks to Jagex's flaws in doing that. But I'm thankful they did it, because look at all the profit I've made, really. So now to then end this episode and see how much money I've made. Basically, if you remember, I started this video series with nothing more than a needle and just a single 3GP item, which you can see on screen. And I currently have no cash in my pouch. I've not lost it all and spent it on a needle. What I have done is I bought a needle and a new item, the Easter egg. So within 4 episodes, I've effectively got myself an Easter egg, just from merchanting, starting with 3GP. And I admit I've had a lot of luck on the way. Stuff like the Addy darts at the very start, which made me about 10k and really sped it up in the early stages. And then what you've just seen today with the limit of 1 on the barrows and armour. But, if you can take advantage of it, why wouldn't you? And the amount of profit it's made me has just been really amazing. I managed to get myself from 10 mil to 52 mil. And, it's all really thanks to the profit that I've been making on the barrows and armadyl. Now that 52 mil profit has taken me an in-game time of 10 hours. So I'm currently sat at around 5 mil profit per hour. And that is really crazy if you think about it. And I'm really, I'm over the moon with that, really. Although it is kind of thanks to the fortune I've had with the barrows and the armadyl. But, if you can do it, you might as well take advantage of it. And I'm not going to be making episode 4.5, as it's kind of a one-off, and, making a guide on how to merchant those items right now, in the future, that'll just be like me releasing a guide on the 2007 Easter event. There'd be absolutely no point, because it's gone. So there won't be an episode 4.5, but still, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing my profits and seeing the progress I've made. So I really hope you're looking forward to episode 5, because I know I am, and I know there's 1 or 2 goals that I want to get in there. So hopefully I can do that for the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed. Cheers for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.